I
I assume there's at the end of the league season there is some type of like finals bracket tournament that these weekly points feed into.
I honestly have I don't know what's going to happen when the league is over.
Well, we we are going in the fight over Firnfeld. Very very large map. Uh, there's a lot of potential for some long range play here over Firnfeld, but Daniel, why don't you hit us with the red team loadouts?
For the Mad Hatters, the Queen of Crows, a goldfish piloted by a Rhythm a Watcher front, Gatling Cow on its side, and the Noble Phantasm, also a goldfish, Caronade front, Gatling Flamer side.
And on blue team, TT, we have the Armor Freaking Geddon, a Mobula piloted by Mean Machine. We have from left to right, we have a flare gun, a Artemis rocket launcher, a center Hades, a light flak, and a flamethrower. Only one Artemis on that Mobula. Their ally, the Paradox. It is a Pyramidion piloted by Mitsa Wildcard. It is a Gat Mortar Pyrrha with left side Banshee and flare gun.
A fight over Firnfeld is very open, but many battles in this map are actually very close when you're entered. So this
Well,
Gat Mortar
I
Primary could
feel like
do some damage.
that's sort of the case in general. I think a lot of teams really prefer that kind of close range brawling type of match. What do you think about the Armor Freaking Geddon's loadout here? They're opting to only go with one Artemis, bringing instead a light flak, which potentially give them a little more killing power, but they don't have as much disable at long range. Do you think that's a good decision?
Um, I don't know. I guess it's just preference killing over disable. Like some people take a Hades like Palm Eaten over the Hades Artemis, and it works reasonably well for both. And I guess these goldfish, they could be very quick and you want to do the most permal damage that you can get, and with the blenderfish as well, it will drop the Mobile downwards and the Artemis can't shoot upwards, but the flag can shoot upwards, so I guess it could be another reason why you would take a flag.
Yeah, potentially. I guess the long range disable is not as important when you're fighting against a close range team composition. It's more pertinent to get that fast kill. Looks like Noble Phantasm actually taking point here a little bit ahead of their ally, kind of getting pushed by the map edge a little bit. But I think they're just trying to get some spots. Yeah, they're going to back out before they start taking any real fire. Those are some real optimistic light flak shots coming out. But
Yeah, hitting
yeah,
a goldfish's armor is sometimes tricky. You hit a balloon or you don't hit it at all because it's so quick. So it could be they just shoot random flags at the beginning before the hit starts really hitting and doing the damage it needs to.
looks like we have ships now spotted on both teams. This is something I always find very interesting with these double goldfish team comps. Uh, it's so important how the ships engage, what angle they come in at, what timing they choose, because like it's not like a Gap Mortar Pyramidion where you can sort of charge in and just as long as you have good gun arcs versus your target, you can kill them. But with a Hwacha and heavy carronade combination, the timing is a lot more specific. You need to make sure that the Hwacha disables the correct target. It knocks out the guns at the right time. You need to make sure the heavy carronade manages to sync the altitude of one of the targets as well, so you're kind of isolating their ally. So, which makes timing is so important in these with the double goldfish, even more so than a lot of the other kind of team setups that we see on this in this weekly tournament.
The disable of the enemy team also is also playing a very specific role, because when the front gun of one of these goldfishes gets destroyed, all this timing will be for nothing.
And that's sort of one
Because
of the interesting things with the Armor Fleet and Geddon only bringing that one Artemis. I guess they're confident that they only need the single gun to get to disable both these ships.
not necessarily both the ships, they just need to disable one of them, so one of these Blue ships is not disabled and can help the ally and kill the enemy. Which I guess the Dementio will be able to do with its Scat motor. Reasonably well.
I mean, I imagine the Mobula also has a reasonable amount of killing power. You know, Hades plus Flamethrower can do a pretty significant amount of damage. It looks like the Mad Hatters have chosen this opportunity to make their attack. They're coming in at a very low angle. Like, this is such a wide open map. It's difficult to kind of find like an ambush angle. There's not a lot of terrain. You see TT actually holding out in the open here, but
nice. I watched like destroys both front guns of the Parmesan, and the Mad Hatters are pushing in slowly but surely.
Yeah, it looks like they're wanting to. I'm wondering to see Phantasm. Yeah, it looks like Phantasm is going to go after the Paradox as well. They're going to try to isolate this Pyramidion before the Mobula is able to kill one of these two goldfish. Queen of Crows is coming in pretty low. Noble Phantasm engaging the Paradox. Gatling coming down. Full armor is down. Mortar's coming in.
Flags
Balloon is down.
Oh my god.
Ooh. Boy, that was not a great engagement from the Mad Hatters. Queen of Crows just not in that fight at all. He came in way too low and wasn't able to rise in time. You know, Rhythm Rogue has Hydro. I'm not sure why he didn't use it to try to close that vertical distance.
They did get a balloon destruction of the Parmesan. Maybe they were hoping that the Parmesan will drop into the Howard Sharks of the Queen of Crows. But the Parmesan stayed up for way longer than expected, and then the Goldfish kind of clashed against it, and you saw what happened.
Yeah, Queen of Crows continuing to take a ton of damage. Just still the Hades coming in, the Life Flag coming in. I feel like, you know,
not coming in. Oh, there's. Yeah, they're nice and Artemis. And I don't think this gold is actually going to be able to escape. Paravitic is also getting into his range for his Scat Mortar, but I don't think it needs it. The flags are just hitting too well.
Yeah, and they do go down. Phantasm looked like he was moving forward a bit, but now that his allies perished, he is...
Do you think he's stuck?
It
looked like he was stuck for a second.
Potentially. I think maybe he was just trying to halt the momentum of his ship so he didn't get spotted by blue team. Although, I was going to say Paradox is pretty high. He might be able to see the red goldfish, but it looks like the answer is no.
These clouds.
Yeah, there are a lot of clouds in red spawn.
The Mobula might have seen him though. It's not behind clouds, and the only care about the goldfish has is this scrap thing gun. Never figured out what this thing really was. Ah! Need to disable scrap notifications, god damn it.
Looks like the teams are kind of grouping up on the barrier between red and blue spawn. Everyone's spotted. They know where each other are. So I guess the only option for red team is really to just kind of charge in with full gusto, because like they're not going to get a better opportunity. The TT are just going to continue to back up and get farther away. But like you see the goldfish now disengaging. Like, are they going to get a better shot than they just did?
I have no idea. I think the fear of engagement that the red team is having is that Mad Media, and if they don't disable it, then they will die like in the previous engagement. They just play very cautious about how to get close to this.
But that's the thing, like how do they get close? I mean, you saw in the original engagement, they chose to come in kind of southbound around the mountain, and they came in at a very low altitude, and that didn't work well for them. Whether that was just a matter of the team synchronization not being there, or if like that tactic will not work, is another matter. It looks like they're potentially... No. I was going to say they look like they might be splitting up here, but actually Queen of Crows has just kind of gotten a little separated, but it looks like they're going to try to regroup.
Well, in the first engagement, they kind of tried to double team the Parmesan for a second, but that left the Miracle Hub also to do a lot of damage on the Blenderfish, I think it was. That was destroying the Parmesan's balloon, who was ramming the Blenderfish at the same time. So they definitely need to disable both of them somehow, because last time they were focusing one ship and that didn't work out well for them.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, one issue with double focusing the Paradox is that, like, it can be difficult to get the confirmed balloon kill on a Pyramidion. If it's off just a little bit, it can hit that whole armor and sort of waste the shot. So maybe that's one of the issues in the previous engagement, is they were relying on that balloon kill to sink them, and they weren't able to secure it. Queen of Crows taking a really high vantage point now. Are they engaging, or are they just looking for spots?
I think they want to set up the engagement. I think they realize that blue team is not going to move from that position too much. And if I'm freaking getting has open fire on the Phantasm. Spots out.
Yeah, they're actually choosing a little bit of a flank, coming in at two different angles. Are they? We have the Watcher coming in on Watcher completely missing the Paradox, so that means no disables. Paradox bumping the Mobula a little bit. Mobula is sinking down. I'm not sure if this is the correct decision, because now they're actually equalizing the distance with the Goldfish. Yes, Mobula, Armor Freak, and Genin is rising back up. They're going to let their Paradox try to tank some of this damage. The Goldfish, I don't know, coming at this low altitude, they're not able to get any shots off yet. Whereas both the Paradox and the Armor Freak and Genin are able to shoot down. Queen of Crows rising up, taking a little bit of a Watcher barrage on the Genin, not taking any guns out. While the Noble Phantasm continues to take a lot of damage. That light flak coming in. Gatling from the Queen of Crows. Paradox, I was going to say, barely keeping their balloon up, but the Watcher actually finishing it off as their... Unfortunately, the other red Goldfish does go down.
Yeah, no, Queen of Crows, it has to escape, well, it just died like before against the Haters and Flags. But this time is actually not reversing, but flying forward. Even though that is opening up his ancient counter, then it's going to be faster than flank reverse. So he will hopefully take less perma-hull damage.
And they also, again, the Mobula only has that one Artemis, so... the engine's not necessarily as much...
The Mobile's balloon is his sword, actually. As opposed to burn down this fire.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it doesn't matter. Queen of Crows is retreating. They're up 3 points. Like, it seemed like the Mad Hatters, they tried to come in low and get behind them. Like, they were just trying to be a little tricky, trying to outmaneuver Blue Team, and Blue Team wasn't having any of it. They were staying high. They were firing down, and I don't know. And then when the red team tried to hydro up, they weren't able, like, I guess it threw off their shots. You saw that Watcher barrage, like, Queen of Crows kind of, once they were underneath TT, the Queen of Crows was the first to pop hydro, and it rose up and tried to get a Watcher hit in on the Mobula, but it missed a bunch of the shots and didn't get any gun disables. So they're more or less kind of sitting ducks at that point.
I think they went low big to block some shots. The Hades and the Flags, when a lot of the shots went into bloom of the Goldfish, which saved it some hull, saved it some damage, and they get more. They also had to go low in order to get some shots, but in the end they were both so low that the Goldfish took them. They did not rise up early enough to dodge the Get Mortar, and now engagements are happening. Paradox eating one Watch and no disables.
Yeah, that heavy clip just not doing enough damage out of the Watcha. Looks like Noble Phantasm's going to juke around the Pyramidion, and then juke over the Mobula. Not actually getting a balloon disable on the Mobula. Queen of Crows continuing to engage Paradox with a beautiful Watcha barrage, disabling everything except the right engine on the blue Pyramidion. But Armor Freak and Geddon's now lending their support fire, and Queen of Crows needs to back out.
Yeah, the Mobile's balloon just got destroyed by the Noble Phantasm in time to... so the Mobile doesn't kill the Queen of Crows.
Yeah, another Watcher barrage coming on, keeping the Paradox disabled. Armor Freak and Geddon actually managing to land some more Hades fire as they fall. keeping the Queen of Crows' whole armor in a state of disrepair. Noble Phantasm looks like Noble Phantasm is going to split off and stick with the Mobula, try to ride them to the ground as Queen of Crowns keeps the Paradox occupied. What is Noble Phantasm? Noble Phantasm actually turning away from the Mobula for a second. I'm not quite sure if maybe he thought the Blue Pyramidion was a little closer than he was. This actually gives the Armor Freak Geddon the opportunity. Just he has enough balloon that he can Hydra up and get away.
Yeah, but in the meantime, the Queen of Crows destroyed the Paradox's armor with the Gatling, but I mistimed how much it was happening, so they did not get the full damage during the armor drop. And the Paradox, I think, is just tanking now. No, they're not. Well, the armor came up really quickly, so I thought they were tanking, but
yeah, they do. They have 3 downstairs. It looks like on the Paradox, so they're trying to keep those engines up in particular. You know, on the other side, Noble Phantasm has actually managed to retake control over the Mobula. Mobula's about to hit the ground, and it looks like this will probably be the end for the Armor Freak Geddon as Noble Phantasm. Well, they managed to get their balloon up for a moment. Balloon goes down. Maybe if they have some nice Artemis shots taking down the Heavy Carronade. No. So it looks like Noble Phantasm will get the stomp here, killing that blue Mobula.
this balloon is still repaired.
Ooh, Flamethrower coming out. At the same time, the Paradox and the Queen of Crows are still fighting. They're still kind of same dynamic there. The Paradox completely disabled. Queen of Crows actually bumping them into the terrain a little bit. Looks like Queen of Crows may be trying to go for a little bit of a ram kill of their own.
Yeah,
so actually,
this palm is just tanking out, and timing the Gatling their watcher with this tanking palm hitting is very hard.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to be able to, like, blue team, as you say, they're tanking both these ships, just staying alive. A real testament to their engineering ability and coordination. But how are they actually going to get out of these two situations they're in? Do they think they can maybe? There are only 3 minutes left on the clock, so potentially, if they're able to tank long enough, they're still going to be up a point. It's 3-0 in their favor, so even if both their ships perish, the Mad Hatters will still need to get a 3rd kill to tie it up.
Oh, Paradox jumped into the Havager, but not enough thermal damage to kill it. I guess timing out is probably their best shot to win now, as they're just getting disabled again and again by the Goldfish, and the Mobula might just die to the Gatling fire. No, it dropped it off.
Okay, Queen of Crows actually... well, I was going to say Queen of Crows lost the angle on the Paradox for just a moment, but they're actually bringing that right side light Carronade into effect, taking out the Paradox's balloon, sinking them, and they kind of have them back in the same spot. So it looks like Paradox will not escape the Watch-a-Lock, at least for now.
Damn if we can get on. Just keeps building his balloon. Actually managed to go above the Goldfish for quite some time now. Just refuses to ground out as a Mobula.
Paradox, they have a good angle, but they have the Gatling up. Mortar's not up yet.
Oh, they get the Watcher disabled and actually gets him mortar spinning into the Queen of Crows, and he dies.
Wow. That was very impressive by the Paradox. Yeah, just getting the mortar up just in time to finish them off with an armor break. Like that is a situation you should not be able to get out of. That Watchafish should be able to finish off the Pyramidion by themselves, but an Armor Freak Geddon against all odds has managed to stay alive with just a sliver of permahull left, and now with the Pyramidion freed up, they're going to be able to come in and assist their ally. The Noble Phantasm has to retreat.
This is very
This is
interesting.
amazing. 2 separate situations where they were getting totally rolled by the disabled Goldfish, and both of them they managed to find an opening to turn it in blue team's favor. And it looks like this is probably going to be the 5th kill, and I mean, even if they don't manage to kill a Noble Phantasm here, it's 4-0. There's a minute left on the clock. It looks like TTea will be the ones taking this game in a very deciding fashion.
Oh, there's
So
1 minute until extra time.
How long is extra time? Do you know?
I think 5 minutes was it? Oh, Queen of Crows getting a somewhat nicer watch on the entrance of the Paradox.
Yeah, it looks like Mobula's going to be continuing to focus Noble Phantasm. Queen of Crows looks like they want to pair up the ships in the same way they were before. Queen of Crows now peeling off to go fight the Paradox with a nice watch of disable, taking down all the engines. Pyramidion will not be able to turn around, and at the same time, Noble Phantasm has the Mobula back in his balloon lock. Let's see if he'll be able to get the kill this time.
Yeah, but Phantasm's actually outside the Hades arming time for a moment, taking some hull damage, armor damage and hull damage, and actually loses the armor against the Mobula round. Flag in arming time, doing a significant amount of damage against the Phantasm. The Mobula could actually kill the Phantasm here, even though it's getting shot by cannons.
Yeah, Noble Phantasm should not let the get in.
Oh my god!
Should not let them back out out of arming range. And wow, very impressive showing from TT. You know, I question the wisdom in bringing the double goldfish. We sort of see this almost weekly. Teams try to do this, and like we had a perfect engagement for the Mad Hatters start, and even then they weren't able to get any kills.